sun shone high those few summer days, left us in a soft, wide-eyed haze. It shone like gold. It shone like gold, but just as the moon, it shines straight. So dawn goes down today. No gold can stay. No gold can stay. What if our hard work ends in despair? What if the road won't take me there? Oh, I wish for once we could stay gold. What if to love and be loved's not enough? What if I fall and can't bear to get up? Oh, I wish for once we could stay gold. We could stay gold. Gold, gold. We're on our way through rugged land. Top of that mountain we wanted to stand. With hearts of gold, with hearts of gold, but there is only forward, no other way. Tomorrow is your home at the end of the day, and gold turns gray, and gold turns gray. What if our hard work ends in despair? What if the road won't take me there? Oh, I wish for once we could stay gold. What if to love and be loved's not enough? What if I fall and can't bear to get up? Oh, I wish for once we could stay gold. We could stay gold. Fall and form a bridge of memories where I can get back. All of my dreams, they fall and form a bridge of memories where I can get back to you. What if our hard work ends in despair? What if the road won't take me there? Oh, I wish for once we could stay gold. What if to love and be loved's not enough? What if I fall and can't bear to get up? Oh, I wish for once we could stay gold. We could stay gold. Could stay
Hi. Welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Rochester. I'm Timothy Hall, and those are youths. If you were not aware, this is a youth service. We're sorry if you weren't. Yeah, things are weird. So, First Unitarian Universalists welcomes you if you are young or old, gay, straight or queer, rich or poor, if you walk or roll to your chair. It's our spiritual practice to create connections with each other because of our differences and because our strengths. We have an announcement this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Timothy. And don't feel bad about tripping on that. The first Sunday I was here, I did a face plant because I tripped on it. So, I'm excited to remind you or let you know about our road ahead. Because in Unitarian Universalism, as a congregation sets itself on its future, that future is not determined by me. It's not determined by some higher authority, unless you're a theist, maybe by a spiritual authority, but there's no people telling you, the people of the church, what to do. It's not your board of trustees, it's not me, it's you that determines where it is you want to go, how it is your programming serves you and the world around you. And so toward that end, your board of trustees has begun the conversations called Our Road Ahead. These conversations will begin at the end of this month and go into March. There'll be various sessions you can sign up for during the day or during evenings in which the board will be talking with you, the congregation, about where it is you see yourselves going in the future. That is what we do as Unitarian Universalists. I urge you to talk to the folks with the signs, Our Road Ahead, out in the lobby after the service. Sign up for a session. And at this time, I believe we light the chalice.
We gather this hour
as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
Good morning. It wouldn't be a youth service if something didn't go horribly wrong. So, you may have your order of service with you. It's not true. We're hijacking it. Some of the things on it were incorrect, and also some of the things we just felt like moving after it got printed. So don't follow it to a T. We're putting our angsty teen twist on it.
So for the past 4 years, we've come up here to give you the rundown on how youth group has been going.
And I can confidently say that this year was the best.
No restorative circles.
No boycotts.
And generally good times all around.
It has been the past few years have been a learning experience for the youth and youth group.
And even though we won't be there next year to see where this group is heading, we're confident that we've built a solid foundation.
Through the trials and tribulations, the seniors have stayed. And we know that our friends and the group will still be standing to bring in new UU youth in the future from this community.
You could say that we never let go of the soul of this group.
We know that the soul of this group will continue to hold after we've left.
And that's why we come to church.
Because we know that this community, the soul of this community, our community, will always be here when times are rough. For the final time, thank you. Please stand in body or spirit and greet your neighbor. Life number 123.
Hello, I'm Becky McQuilkin-Scholes. The youth group is grateful for this church. You have given us Sheila, our DRE, and advisors like Wayne and Gregory. You've given us a place and mentors to grow our souls. You have set an example for us that justice is soul work. We take our offering today for Reconnect Rochester. Reconnect Rochester is a nonprofit whose mission is to champion transportation choices that enable a more vibrant and equitable community. The organization envisions a community connected by a robust transportation system that makes it easy for everyone, regardless of physical or economic ability or age, to get around.
In my hand is a pen that will write a poem of me and you. The ink flows down into a dark puddle. Just move your hand right the way into his heart. But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day? What will it take just to find that special day?
Have I found everybody a fun assignment to do today? When you're here, everything that we do is fun for them anyway. When I can't even read my own feelings, what good are words when a smile says it all? And if this world won't write me an ending, what will it take just for me to have it all?
Does my pen only write bitter words for those who are dear to me?
Is it love if I take you, or is it love if I set you free?
The ink flows down into a dark puddle. How can I write love into reality?
If I can't hear the sound of your heartbeat, what do you call love in your reality? And in your reality, if I don't know how to love you, I'll leave you be.
At First Unitarian, we practice the greater good during every holiday season. Instead of submitting to our consumer culture, we give half of what we would spend for holiday gifts to support the work of social justice. This year, our church supported the Summer Leap program, the Global Health program of Highland Foundation, and the Department of Family Medicine of the University of Rochester, and the Refugees Helping Refugees organization. This year, everyone contributed almost $30,000 to the greater good. Now our interim senior minister, Joel Miller, and I will present checks to our recipient organizations.
I'm so pleased to welcome up here in front of the congregation from the Department of Family Medicine at Highland Hospital, Dr. Doug Stockman, and from our congregation, Barbara Gowinski, who is one of the leaders of our Honduras project that partners with the Department of Family Medicine program. The amount that we gave this year responds to the request from two villages, El Rancho Quemado and El Salitere, for basic air and water safety equipment, that is stoves, water filtration systems, latrines, and fluoride packets. Funding for this project was proposed by the Greater Good Committee, and this year comes out of what was microfinance task force funds that weren't used from previous Greater Good contributions in earlier years. We're so grateful for the ministry that you do, and we present the actual check to you at this moment. Lindsay Brown is the director of the Allendale Columbia School Development Office, and that school has the Summer LEAP program. It's a tuition-free, evidence-based learning environment enrichment program. It closes the opportunity gap for low-income students and strengthens their connections between their families and communities. 6 weeks of full-day instruction for 100 students from School 17. Funding supports restorative wellness programming and allows them to also experience mindfulness practices. A wonderful ministry in the community. We present you the actual check. And I have to mention that Lindsay Brown is a graduate of our youth program from earlier years, so yahoo! And the last organization we raised money for this year as a congregation is Refugees Helping Refugees. The organization works to assure that children are academically engaged and moving toward high school graduation and supports them in building skills while they're in college. Refugees Helping Refugees is the only organization in Rochester founded by and run by refugees. Refugees Helping Refugees helps students become self-sufficient adults and succeed at academics. Funding helps recently arrived students from Somalia, Kenya, Yemen, Nepal, and other places in the world. They receive mentoring, college trip opportunities, accessibility support, and other services. A great ministry, and thank you for the work you do. And we present to you the actual check. And congregation, thank you for your commitment to justice in the world. You put your own selves out there, and you put your resources in the hands of others who can do this great work. Thank you.
I invite you now into a time of meditation and quiet. Please get comfortable in your seats and allow your eyes to soften and your hands to rest. Let us take a few breaths together in the quiet. Every year, I go to the ocean. Not even in the best weather we go. My family and I return to the sea. One night, last summer, the moon was nearly full, the sky cloudless, the stars countless pricks of light in the darkness. The breeze was so warm and light, I decided to walk along the shore. My feet hit the cool sand, the shimmering path of the light from the moon stretched across the waters of low tide. I found a place to sit among the dune grasses. A cricket began to chirp. The beach, always so full and loud, was incredibly calm and empty. In the absence of all other human life, the vastness of the sea captured me. I sat completely alone, and yet completely connected. Have you ever found yourself in that moment of clarity? In this shared silence, I invite you now to open that moment again as a gift of life. May these memories continue to hold us and to heal us.
Soul. I'm not sure I actually believe in a soul per se, and while many people who say the same would call a soul consciousness, I think it's more of your perception. No, not even that. I think it's what makes you perceive what you experience in the way you perceive it. Or in other terms, it makes the world to you. Now, I can easily think of what I would consider my soul, You're looking at them. The seniors here have been with me for the past 5 years of my life. But I can say I really became a part of them 4 years ago in Nick's Club, the nickname we gave our coming-of-age group. And that was when I actually started identifying as a UU. These people changed my life. Marley with humor, spontaneity, and leadership. Maddie with loyalty and just the right amount of weird. Nolan, who hasn't been able to come recently, with his unrelenting dedication to comedy. Becky with learning and a painful amount of puns. Rachel with, once again, leadership, and as she has proclaimed many times, very loudly, she's just really gay. Massey with emotion, but also the trashiest part of the internet. CJ, who's already off to college, with knowing when to take time for yourself. And Noelle, with the ability to be present, but never dominant. These people are my soul. As you listen to their sermonettes, you will hear mine. We only have half a year left until we part ways, but we'll always come back for each other, for the future youth groups, for this church, this literal cement box. This soul is never truly leaving. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marley.
And I'm Rachel.
No, I'm Rarley. And I'm Marshall. Dude, we messed up. Okay, let's just start over. Hi, I'm Marley.
Rachel.
Good enough.
Okay. Since we met in the first grade, we've been mistaken for one another. We're both blondes of similar heights, similar age, so it's understandable. But this is our senior year. This has been happening for 10 years now, and we decided that we wanted to clear it up today.
It's really confusing and awkward to accept a compliment for my violin playing after a service. I don't play violin.
For a few weeks, we alternated going to youth group a couple years ago.
I'd go 1 week,
Next, I'd go.
then me again, and on as such.
One youth group member actually thought that we were the same person going to youth group every single week. Needless to say, this actually happens a lot. At the end of this service, see if you can identify which blonde youth group member is which. And you can't ask our parents, that is cheating.
It is possible, I swear, because even though we look similar, we each have individual souls made up of what we love, our personalities, our interests. And although they often overlap, we are different people with different souls. For example,
I run cross country. It was only my first season, but I was actually able to make it on the varsity team and have a varsity time, and I developed a really close bond with my team.
I was not as fast, and I've been doing it longer.
I play guitar.
I took classical guitar lessons for 5 years, and now I play to accompany my scream singing at odd hours of the day, but I'm pretty good, I think.
I'm self-taught, and I only know about 6 chords, which is enough for me to get through the songs that I need to play when I'm very stressed. Another thing, I like women.
I don't really like men that much.
I just don't really care.
We
really are different. We are unique individuals, and it is possible to tell us apart.
I'm a visual artist. I spend all of my time drawing. Sketchbooks line the shelves in my closet, and I don't think I've ever not been drawing. My entire future revolves around illustration, the colleges I've applied to, the jobs that I want. Art is in my soul.
I have a passion for teaching. I was an assistant instructor at my old dojo for about 2 years. I've been tutoring for 4, and I love it. Teaching is a part of my life, and I know I want to make it a part of my life in my future, even with my colleges, even though I don't know exactly what facet that's going to be in.
I'm an introvert. It takes me a ton of energy to, get up the courage to talk to new people. Even hanging out with friends, afterwards I need to recharge my social batteries for hours. I'm usually the first person to talk to someone who I don't know. I'm very, very extroverted, and when I don't see people for a very long time, I go a little insane. So, contrary to popular belief, we are not the same person. We have our own souls made of what we love, unique personalities. But we understand that even after all of this, you still might mix us up. Souls are messy things that get tangled up in each other, and ours are knotted up together like earbuds that you've left in your pocket. We've known each other for so long, hung out for so many years. Our souls are like a Venn diagram at this point. You can see the Marley side, the Rachel side, and Marshall in the middle. However, that overlap isn't unique to us. Everyone you meet has an impact on you, and you on them, and we're better off for it. There is no greater lesson in life than experience, but we can't experience everything. It is impossible. So we use the experiences of others to make ourselves better people. And we can't always choose who we connect with or who we meet, but we do choose who to invest ourselves in. We have the ability to change how much of an overlap there is. We can honestly say that we are better people for having had our souls intertwined with one another's, for having that overlap of the Venn diagram. But like those tangled up earbuds, if you take the time to untangle, you really look at them, it's easy to spot our differences. I'm Marley. And I'm Rachel. Thank you.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but also illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So it's been said, and some choose to believe it, but I know they're wrong. Wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. And what's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, or have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is that the sweet sound that called the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
friends, singing, dancing, talking about my favorite things. These are the things that make my heart pound, that make my smile grow. These are the things that excite me. I didn't have a lot of friends when I was little. I didn't constantly get together for play dates or beg to go to sleepovers. I was happy being alone. I danced and sang and read books. I explored the backyard and park behind our house. I ran and skipped and always felt the most intense emotions. I remember one summer night I stayed up later than usual and watched the sunset and the stars come out. That was one of the first times that I remember feeling such an intense happiness that I couldn't describe it with one word. When I entered school, I was culture shocked by the amount of people and communication that was constantly going on. At first, I had no idea how to partake in this phenomenon. As I made it to middle school, I made my first best friend. Then, in high school, I got a friend to ride on the bus with. To this day, I have shared more with her than I have with anyone else that I know. I began to join friend groups and communities. Each of them is now an important part of who I am, and I a part of who they are. Being told that I was really a part of a group of people was another time that I felt the emotion that I couldn't describe with words. This kind of energy and emotion that filled me in those two times was the kind of energy that you can't forget. The joy and acceptance that I felt has become a key part of my identity, of my soul. What I share today was a piece of my story. Thank you for listening, and I urge you to all go out today and write a new chapter to your own stories.
When I was in our church's coming of age program 4 years ago, I was asked to write a credo statement. My classmates and I, several of which are with me today, worked several weeks developing these statements, and we were even asked to work on developing them outside of church. Now, I've had some difficult assignments in these past 4 years of high school, but this one ranks still among the most challenging. For those of you who don't know, a credo statement is a written or verbal statement of your beliefs. As a 13-year-old kid, I was shocked to discover that I didn't know what I believed. I found myself answering, "I don't know," to the vast majority of questions presented to me. These were questions like, do you believe in a God or a higher power? Are people inherently good, evil, or neutral? And do you believe in an afterlife, life after death, or reincarnation? I spent a very long time thinking about all these questions, and I eventually did develop my credo statement. But the one question that I had the most trouble answering was, do people have souls? And if so, what is a soul? This question still troubles me even today, as I have found no clear answer. When I view the concept of a soul from a spiritual standpoint, I reasoned that the soul, if it exists, is the true essence of an individual. It is the spark of life that is housed within the physical body, the true defining factor of a human being. This definition, however, wasn't good enough for me. It was too vague and lacked any kind of concrete explanation. But when I viewed the soul from a scientific standpoint, I discovered that what we think of as a soul is nothing more than a series of connected neurons in our brain and a chemical mix of hormones that determines everything about us. All of our memories, feelings, and personality can be summed up as just another product of the human brain. This explanation, while factual and specific, seemed too simple to explain the complex and unpredictable nature of the soul. Science still can't truly explain the mysteries of the human mind. I became frustrated that I couldn't create a firm belief on the existence and the nature of a soul, despite all I had learned from both my faith and my education. I had fallen into a trap that countless other people have fallen into in their search for truth. I had created a barrier in my mind between science and spirituality. I was unable to reconcile these two belief systems, and as a result, I was unable to create a firm statement of my beliefs. I think it is easy for us to forget that science and spirituality are not mutually exclusive. In fact, I've had some of my most touching spiritual experiences while observing the wonders of our universe. You might have heard before that scientists are actually some of the most spiritual people. I believe this is because the human race experiences the universe in a truly unique way. We are able to observe and interact with the universe, experiment and create with the elements we have been provided with, the way no other creature has been able to before. And we created the concepts of beauty and majesty, and we are fascinated by what we don't know. Spirituality is about the search for truth and meaning in this world we have been gifted with. And so what we don't know is vastly more important than what we do. So this is my definition of the soul. The soul is not a physical thing. It is not supernatural, nor is it scientific. It is rather a representation of the mystery surrounding the human mind, the unexplained essence of humanity that lives within every one of us, but unknown to all of us. The mystery of the soul is where the beauty of it lies. We may never discover what the soul truly is, and I don't think we will, but we should never stop asking. Thank you.
We are going to be throwing our actual closing hymn out of the window and instead singing New Soul. So please rise and body your spirit. We'll have the lyrics up on the projector for you, and bring your ribbon up with you. We're going to be doing closing words a little differently this time.
I invite you now to please take the strings that you have taken at the beginning of the service and tie them together in a large string with all of the neighbors around you. If you are also not able to do this or not willing, you can also just share the string in between two people. This is to show how all of our souls are interconnected and share all of our bits and pieces with everybody else.
You know what? I'll tie myself on the crystals too.
Spirit and join hands. Or strings. We can do, or dream we can do, let us begin it. Boldness has genius and power and magic in it. May we ever be bold in our living and in our loving. Amen.